In the Unresolved Problem segment tonight, police under siege. Police have been under intense scrutiny for much of the Obama years after groups like Black Lives Matter and other far-left operations have staged a series of anti-cop demonstrations alleging that cops unfairly brutalize minorities. The Republican candidates have been clear that they stand with the police.
You know, the FBI director, the president's appointed FBI director, has said this week that because of a lack of support from politicians like the President of the United States, that police officers are afraid to get out of their cars, that they're afraid to enforce the law. And he says, the president's appointee, that crime is going up because of this. This president has failed, and when I'm in the Oval Office, police officers will know that they will have the support of the President of the United States.
Hillary Clinton weighed in on the topic today and called for a number of policing reforms.
Now, my friends, I am going to get to some very important points that actually prove that black lives do matter and we have to take action together. African American men are far more likely to be stopped and searched by police, charged with crimes, and sentenced to longer prison terms than white men convicted of the same offenses.
Joining us now from Washington, Ed Henry, who covers the Hillary campaign for Fox News. So, Ed, does Hillary see criticizing cops as a winning political issue?
Well, I'm sure she would reject the idea she's criticizing cops. She's supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, though, of course, and they've been in a pitched battle with police, so certainly people are going to choose sides there. They're going to perceive that maybe she's not defending law enforcement enough, but she certainly would say she's not picking on police. What I think she's doing very clearly politically is she's trying to wrap up the Democratic nomination and create a little insurance policy here, which is that you've got Super Tuesday on March 1st. She was talking today in Georgia, one of the states where voters will go to the polls on March 1st, and that's one of the first big states where there'll be African-American voters turning out in large numbers, unlike Iowa and New Hampshire. And Bernie Sanders doesn't do very well right now, at least in the polls, with African-American voters. And so
shore up the African-American vote by criticizing police and say we need more police reforms?
Well, the part that you're saying, though, she, in her remarks, did not criticize the police. Now, her critics might perceive that, but what she's certainly standing up for the Black Lives Matter movement. She keeps saying it again and again. But ironically, today at one of her events in Georgia, she was interrupted by Black Lives Matter protesters who felt like what she was saying was still not good enough. They want her to go even further. So there's a clear tension there. There's no doubt about it.
So today, Bill de Blasio came out and endorsed Hillary Clinton for the first time. Is this a good thing, considering what's going on in New York City, where the mayor has had a contentious relationship with the NYPD? I mean, does she want to have Bill de Blasio hitching his wagon to her?
Well, because of that tension, that's certainly something I'm sure the Clinton camp wants to avoid. On the other hand, they were concerned that de Blasio and other progressive leaders could potentially go with Bernie Sanders. It was unlikely de Blasio would, because remember, he ran her Senate campaign way back in 2000 in New York. And while there is perceived to be some tension recently, and he was sort of dragging out this endorsement, nobody really believed he would go to Bernie Sanders. But you're right that with, between his contentious relationship with the police, but also his position on taxes, for example, some of that has blown up in his face. That's why he struggled in the polls in New York. And so an endorsement that might have mattered a lot more at a different time in a different race, the New York City mayor endorsement now probably doesn't matter that much.
All right, Eddie, we had another release of Hillary Clinton's emails. Anything earth-shattering?
What is significant is there's nearly 300 more emails that have classified information.
Wow.
Remember, at the beginning of this, Hillary Clinton back in March said
300 more? 300 more?
Nearly 300 more on top of the hundreds we've already seen in previous document dumps. Now, the State Department, we should be fair, is clearly saying today these are being classified after the fact. And when she either sent or received these emails, they were not classified. Obviously, her critics have said that's nonsense, and she should have known in real time that this was sensitive information, and that when she said in March, there's no classified information, she didn't really know that. But her defense has been
What's worse, Ed? What's worse, Ed, that she didn't know, or she lied about it knowing it was classified information, or she didn't know? I mean, how... You know, how out there can you be that you wouldn't know some of this stuff is classified?
You know what's particularly interesting behind the scenes is that she continues to say that the media doesn't care about this. I mean, that only the media cares about, not voters. Voters don't care about it. It's just the press that brings it up. But I was in New Hampshire with her on Thursday, and at an event, a voter came up and interrupted one of her events, sort of asked her a question and said, Benghazi, deleted emails, how can you eliminate corruption in government? She pushed back and got cheers from a Democratic crowd, but it shows voters care.
We got to go. Love the pocket hanky, too, by the way. Ed, thank you very much.
Good to see you, buddy.